Hello everybody and welcome. This is going to be a kind of an update or a reaction video to some pretty big news we got for World of Warcraft Warlords of Draenor. I had some people ask me, would you comment or respond on some of the things that you're seeing? And I figure, you know, instead of responding to a bunch of different people's posts over and over again, I'd probably just make a short video, go through the changes that they're making, and give you my response to them. So, here we go. World of Warcraft has had quite an eventful year. We've released... Okay, let's skip all that stuff. So here they go. This is basically some information about the patch 6.1 that should be coming up. They say, we're excited what's ahead in 2015. We wanted to give you a glimpse at some of our long-term projects we're working on, as well as some features planned for patch 6.1, which will be hitting the public test realm PTR soon. The first point, feeling legendary. We hope that everyone is enjoying Legendary Questline with Khadgar, the next step which opens up with Blackrock Foundry and the raid in the new year. We're already working on steps after that, and the questline will continue in patch 6.1, where the first ever legendary follower with suitably legendary abilities will be available to join your garrison. My dog's super excited about it. If you're a fan of collecting followers but haven't set out on the legendary questline yet, now is a good time to get started. So, this is the first piece of news. We're getting a new legendary follower in patch 6.1. I tweeted this right before I started recording this, but I am convinced 100% that it is going to be Garona, based on some leaked dialogue and leaked events that happen in the 6.0 legendary quest chain, which is past what people are doing right now. So it's further on in the quest chain. I don't know if it actually takes place in 6.1 or if it takes place in 6.0 later on, but there is a confrontation with Garona in this legendary quest chain, the results of which I know some of the dialogue, and I would not be surprised if she became our follower after this happens. So we get to the next part, Pepe's favorite new feature. We're working on the ability to send out tweets, including screenshots directly from within WoW, making it easier than ever to find friends, let them know about your achievements, and item drops. Now, my question for this is, who actually wanted this? Because I don't think I've seen a single person ever say they wanted to tweet from within World of Warcraft. In fact, this was so out of left field that it's hard for me to even comment on it because it just seems so just absurd and not fitting in with an MMO, let alone World of Warcraft. I mean, this to me strikes something that would happen in like a mobile game or like a Facebook game. Is that what they're trying to turn World of Warcraft into? I mean, you know, they already have all these, you know, ridiculous time sinks with garrisons and all these other things that you probably could do based on your phone, you know, sending garrisons followers on certain missions, you know, etc., etc. You could probably do all of that from a tablet or a phone through some kind of Facebook-like app. But who wanted this? What the hell is the point of this? You know, I saw this news, and again, I also tweeted out, and I still feel the same way. Why don't you take the resources that you're using on that to make the game not broken? So here, I don't know. Next point, Flight Master competency. We have new tech in the works that will allow Flight Masters to provide more direct routes to your destination, regardless of flight points the character knows. This means fewer roundabout routes. The Flight Masters will instead always try to send you on the shortest existing route. Hopefully this will get you to your destination faster. You know what would get me to my destination faster than them repeatedly, I'm pretty sure this is like the third time they've said this, that they're trying to make Flight Master flights quicker. You know what would really make everyone just get around much faster than just this bullshit, you know, we're going to make the flight paths faster? Giving people flying. Why don't they just give people flying? I just don't. I've talked about this several times. You know, I talked about it at length in my unsubscribe video. But man, do I just not understand what the point is not for having flying, other than just making it take longer to get from place to place, and therefore making you have to play the game longer because the game's forcing you to. That's not fun, that's not engaging, that's not interacting, that's not interesting, that's nothing but time gating, and the idea that this is some new feature that they have to add onto this 6.1 list is kind of a joke. It's like, here are the new features coming for 6.1. We're going to have Flight Masters that fly faster. Come back and subscribe after you've left already. I don't know. For those of you who want a more in-depth refutation of the whole idea that flying is somehow more immersive or adds anything to the game, on my Twitter. If you just go to my Twitter, which is in every single one of my video descriptions, just look down below. I have a pinned comment on the official forums that pretty succinctly and pretty completely destroys every argument I've ever heard of why flying shouldn't be in the game. I think it's an amazing refutation of people who say this, and I will never not think that removing flying is anything except making the game take longer to play. And that, again, is not fun, does not make the game good, does nothing to the game whatsoever, good or bad. Well, I would say it was bad, but it doesn't add anything to the game, it just makes it take longer. So, moving on, all about that base. Garrison improvements, tweaks, additions are on the horizon. Really interesting, this one I forgot. We're working towards making visiting your friends' garrisons even more rewarding, with a daily visitor to set you and your friends on a fun random task, complete with rewards, achievements, and a meta achievement for finishing all the tasks. We'll have an awesome new items to spend on your garrison resources on, new missions to complete with fun new rewards, new items to change your followers with, a whole new tier of garrison invasion difficulty for the most tenacious of defenders among you. Can your garrison withstand a world boss? New profession building missions, and a whole lot more. Now, I think garrisons are a huge time sink, like everything else in this expansion, but garrisons are pretty fun. Invasions I actually really do enjoy. I've done several with Dunn and Howie at this point, and I think it would be cool. I hope that they do follow through with this and don't cut it out like they have with so much other stuff this expansion, with this idea of a world boss coming to assault your garrison. I have no idea how that would even work. Maybe you would just fight him off and he flees, not rather just kill him. Because I couldn't see them making sense saying, like, 3 people killed a world boss fighting your garrison, but you need like 50, 60, 70, 80 people in the world to actually kill the world bosses. I don't know. But I think it would be cool. I love that they're thinking of new items to spend garrison resources on, new missions. I've hit a point where basically every single one of my followers is 100 except for one that I'm leveling up. Most of them at this point are 655 item level, and I'm really running out of missions to do. Now at this point they're just 15,000 or 10,000 experience missions with little else. And I'm actually at a point where I'm kind of running out of followers to move from, green or blue to epic. I almost have all epic followers at this point too. And I'm not even playing much. I log on like maybe once or twice a day, get all my mission reports, send all my missions out, and go do something else. So I'm glad they're adding more stuff. I'm not sure what this new profession building mission are, but hopefully if, I think it'd be really cool. I'm a tailor and enchanter on my warlock. I think it would be cool to have missions where you could send tailoring or profession followers, like for me for tailoring, who do I have that's a tailor? It's Pleasurebot 9000 or whatever his name is a tailor, as well as Image of Archmage Vargoth. He is also a tailor. I think it'd be cool if they had missions where you could send those kinds of characters out and they could give you your special resource that you make every day, which for me is, I don't remember what the blue cloth is called, but I think that would be cool. So if they do that, that'd be nice. So moving on, collecting your heirlooms. We're pretty far along in the development on the much talked about heirloom tab. Never mind the fact they said this would be launching with the game and it was cut, but whatever. This will bring a whole new heirloom system into a single account-wide collection UI and provide a clear purchase/upgrade path for all items. Heirlooms already on characters will be collected into the new UI. Similar to the collections features, base level heirlooms will be purchasable from vendors, and upgrade tokens that can be used on heirlooms to raise the effectiveness to additional level caps will be obtained through different forms of content. What does that mean? Who knows? We'll be looking for your feedback on the new system when 6.1 goes live. Now, I think this is good. I think this is a good system, with some caveats that I'll get to in a second, but I really like the idea of the heirloom UI. I was a big proponent and in favor of it when Warlords was announced, because I don't know about you guys, I really hate having to dig through all of my characters' banks to find those heirlooms for new characters I want to level up. So, I think it'd be cool. Now, I want to scroll down and skip these for a second and get to this real quick. This was on the EU forums, and it was given a little bit more information. They said they plan to have this available with patch 6.1. They are currently being redesigned, the heirlooms, to fit in with the new stat system. The base heirlooms will be sold for gold, and the base level will go from 1 to level 60. Once you buy an heirloom, it will be available for all characters in your account as toys and pets are now. The base heirlooms can be upgraded to Tier 2, which is usable from 1 to 90 then, and then Tier 3, which is usable from 1 to 100, in exchange for emblems that will be obtained as a reward for some tasks completed within the game. Now, I don't know about this whole idea with emblems, because they made a huge deal when they removed emblems to say that they were never going to have any kind of emblem system in the game again, whether it was for currency or for anything else, because they felt like it forced people to play and they didn't like that idea. That was pretty much their reasoning for doing so. I'm just kind of disappointed that they decided apparently to go completely back on what they said and introduce this new heirloom system into the game. Another problem, a potential problem, they haven't said this is how it's going to work, but I'm kind of worried. There are... Right now, you can get heirlooms from 1 to 80, you can get heirlooms from 1 to 85, you can get heirlooms from 1 to 90, and then you have the special garage droppable heirloom weapon, which goes from 1 to 90, or 1 to 100, excuse me. But it seems like in this new system, there's only 3 levels, 60, 90, and 100. So what happens if I have like a level 85 weapon, or a level 85 heirloom, and this new system goes into place? Will they count as level 90s? Will they get bumped back down to level 60? You know, I spent the time and a lot of resources back in Cataclysm to upgrade all of my heirlooms from stopping at 80 to 85. Literally every single one I have, and I have a lot of them, go up to 85 now, because I spent the time, I spent the resources, I spent the justice points, I spent all of that getting them to 85. I'm going to be super duper bummed out if they're going to force me to have to do all of that over again. I think what's fair is to just say, look, everything that's not the garage heirloom weapon but has been upgraded at least once, just put them at 90. And if you just have an heirloom that wasn't upgraded at all, you're stuck at 60, because that way you didn't spend currency to upgrade them. Does that make sense, guys? Like, if you just bought an heirloom, and I believe all of the default heirlooms just go to 80. If you just spent those initial points, or however you bought them, to get that, you're stuck at 60, because it's the exact same way if you translate it to the new system. You just bought the thing and you have it. It just goes to 60 now instead of 80. But if you spent more resources to upgrade it at least once, it should go to 90, because in this new system, you have to upgrade them to the new tier. If I'm being honest, the cynical person in me is saying is they're not going to do that. They're going to force every single piece of heirloom gear that you have to go at 60 and have to make you do it all over again. I'm going to be really bummed out if that's the case, so who knows. But I'm glad that they haven't totally abandoned this heirloom system. So, we now have an esports thing, which frankly I just don't care about PvP, but let's just read it anyway. The new Wargame Skirmishes feature allows anyone to run an online tournament. I actually didn't click on this yet, so let's see what this is. We'll see in a second, because I'm actually, well, oh good, glad it goes. I guess this isn't implemented yet, so, you know, you saw with the Arena World Championship, we've come up with an improved UI to help viewers better. So basically, they're implementing more viewer UI stuff into esports. That's cool. You're more beautiful every day. If you discussed it in a recent preview, new Blood Elf models are on the way. We're looking to get them in-game in an upcoming patch. Alongside the new Blood Elf models, we're implementing a couple tweaks and fixes for other character models based on our player and our own internal feedback. With some additional changes to come in, that's totally fine, you know, whatever. Ashran, we're continuing to focus on pairing and tech changes to ensure the fights between the Alliance and Horde are even, as well as reduce the queue times to get into the PvP zone for realms experiencing them. Further into the coming year, our focus will be on updating and expanding the current content Ashran offers in big new ways, but we'll have more info on that as we get closer to 6.1. So, Ashran's a goddamn mess. I don't know if it's for every single server, but for me on Mal'Ganis Horde side, there's a huge queue, and because of the realms we're connected to, the Alliance is always winning. So, every single time I go into Ashran, whether it's to do my Apexis daily, or maybe because I don't PvP much, but maybe if I'm interested in it one day and just want to go see what's going on, it's a white fest. We're stuck in our base 24/7. I think the furthest I've ever seen the Horde on our connected realms get was out of our base past the bridge to the first area. That's as farthest as I've ever seen them. So hopefully if they fix it, that's great. But most people I know at this point, and I know this is just an anecdotal example, have totally given up on Ashran. I'm kind of there as well. I was never a big PvP fan anyway, and the fact that this thing they hyped up so much just didn't work, and just doesn't work, and still doesn't work, is just very disappointing. So finally, Game Ogre. Raiders are continuing to enjoy Highmaul in its Ogre glory. We're now watching how things play out in the last couple wings open in raid fire difficulty. While progression through Highmaul continues, Warlord Blackhand is eagerly waiting your arrival in the Blackrock Foundry raid. Here's where we get to the particularly enraging part. We're expecting Blackrock Foundry to become available in February. We'll announce specific dates once we've seen more of how Highmaul progression progresses. February. The game came out November, the end of November, and the second raid of supposedly the launch tier is not going to be out for 3 months after that. That has never happened except for BC, which was a special case because they had locked a bunch of different ones behind gates and blah blah blah, and I also hated that. So there's not even a point in bringing that up. This has never happened. This has never happened. Such a long wait of time between the first raid coming out and the second one. It's so long, in fact. I would say it's probably almost as long as just releasing a new raid. You know, so if Blackrock Foundry doesn't come out till February, when the shit can we expect 6.1 to come out? Like 6 months from now? That's absurd. And I want to show you guys something real quick before I end this video. Mists of Pandaria. I'm going to keep comparing this expansion to Mist because it's the one right before it, so deal with it. Mists of Pandaria came out September 25th, 2012. 5.1. And for all intents and purposes, 6.1 is supposed to be just like this. There's not a raid in it. It's supposed to continue on the story. 6.1 came out November 27th. Almost exactly 2 months after the expansion came out. Warlords of Draenor came out November 13th. We have no idea when 6.1 is coming out, but the second raid tier, or the second raid of this tier, is not even coming out for 2 months past that. Guys, this is an expansion where they supposedly increased the size of their team by 50%. That was the excuse they gave us as to why it took so much longer to come out. And even after it's come out, there's still such a gigantic gap of time between this supposed 6.1, whenever we're going to get it, and when it launched. How could they do it correctly with Mists of Pandaria and just utterly fail with Warlords of Draenor? In fact, I wish I had this tab up right now, but I had it up and I forgot. The beta for 5.1 was already up in October of 2012. A little over a month after the expansion Mists of Pandaria came out. There is no talk of a 6.1 PTR yet. You know, we are past a month. Have this expansion has come out. Let me remind you one more time. With a team that is 50% bigger than the last expansion, how the hell could they possibly be doing so badly? There are no more words. I have no words to explain how terribly they failed World of Warcraft. What are they doing? They've developed this game for over 10 years. What is happening? What is happening at Blizzard? I want to know what is happening at Blizzard. That a team that is 50% less populated can put out patches faster than the team is right now. We don't even have a date for 6.1, but we can presume it's going to take place after Blackrock Foundry, which isn't until February. What the fuck? I just don't understand how anyone can defend this shit. They publicly, repeatedly talked about how they're increasing their team size, and that's why it took Warlords so long to get out. They were, getting everyone up to speed with how they develop stuff. The expansion's out now. How much longer are they going to use that excuse if they're going to use it at all anymore? And if they're not, then what the fuck is happening? Because there's a 50% bigger team, and they're still fucking things up and taking forever. With an expansion that, after a little, let's see, it came out the 13th, it's the 18th of December, came out the 13th of November, a month and 5 days. Most people I know, once again, anecdotal evidence, but whatever, I can verify it through a lot of more people, a lot of people, more people, sorry, my words kind of failed me for a second. A lot more people on the forums, on the official forums, on, on the MMO Champion forum. Sorry, my brain is shutting down because I'm just angry. That can corroborate what I'm about to say. Most people I know already log in, do their shit for 10-15 minutes, log out, and they're done. And you know what? For all the people saying there's so much to do in Warlords of Draenor, I really don't see that defense coming out anymore. And I think it's because, like I accurately predicted in my last video, the honeymoon phase is over, guys. The honeymoon phase is over with Warlords. People are now seeing how little the expansion actually has to offer. People are now seeing how time-gated this expansion is, far more than any other expansion ever was, and they're just not putting up with it anymore. And you know what? I told you so. So, I don't know, man. I am personally at this point just hoping they rush through Warlords, finish this shit as quickly as possible so we can get back to the actual World of Warcraft with story that isn't fucking terrible, with expansions that don't take forever to come out, with patches that don't take forever to come out, with stuff that isn't time gated. So you know what? I just can't. You know what? Unless there's some amazing, super awesome, fantastic shit coming in 6.1 and they haven't talked about the story at all, I'm not coming back. So I don't know. Thanks for watching, guys. Here's my thoughts on the first round of 6.1 information, and do with it what you will. Tell me how wrong I am in the comments below, because I'm sure there will be some people like that. Give me your thoughts about all this information. What do you think I have wrong? You can disagree with me on whatever you want. Feel free to include that. But if you think I got some fact wrong, I'd like to know about that, because regardless of if I like or dislike something, I try desperately hard not to misrepresent a fact. So if you think I got some fact wrong, also let me know about that and I will correct myself. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. As of recording this, I think I'm going to get this out today. Today is Thursday. Tomorrow there will be a Garrison video on the fall of Shattrath, as well as over the weekend there will be possibly some gameplay stuff with Howie and a different game that is not World of Warcraft related or Blizzard related, as well as the review of the finale, the series finale of The Legend of Korra. Thanks for watching, guys. Feel free to like, favorite, subscribe, do all of the shenanigans. My Twitter is in the information below. Share my channel with those of you who think would find it interesting, and until then, I will see you later. Thanks for watching. Farewell.